Ram Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and pranams. Thank you very much for joining in for our Krishna book study. Today is 7th of November. Today is Thursday. Okay, so today and tomorrow we'll do Krishna book study, and then we will do 11th. We will start with Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.3. All right, let's start with the prayers. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradhayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauradushi Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabho Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Taraliye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Mande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Meshwaram. Harihi Om Tatsat. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Dear devotees, thank you very much for joining in for our Krishna book study session today. We are on chapter number 41, right? So in the last 2-3 chapters, we saw how Akrura is actually preparing himself to receive Lord Sri Krishna and to take Lord Sri Krishna and Balaram from Vrindavan to Mathura. Right? We also saw how Krishna accepts our bhava. Right? Although Akrura is going as an envoy or is going as a duta or as a messenger of Kamsa to actually bring Kamsa to Mathura, to actually bring Krishna to Mathura, and in this way get Krishna killed. That was a plan of Kamsa, and Akrura even knew this. So why did he agree? He agreed because he knew that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and nobody can cause any harm to Krishna. So in this way, he thought this was an opportunity for him to actually take darshan of Krishna and bring Krishna to Mathura, right? To fulfill the various plans of Krishna only, right? So all of these pure devotees of the Lord, Akrura perfected his life by the process of Vandanam, offering prayers to the Supreme Lord. All of them are instruments who actually fulfill the mission of the Lord, right? The Lord has to perform his pastimes. And the next in line, the pastime is the killing of Kamsa by Lord Sri Krishna. So in this way, Akrura meditates upon Lord Sri Krishna, meditates upon what he would do when he reaches the holy Dham of Vrindavan, and then how he would roll in the sand of Vrindavan. And in this way, he meditates and reaches Vrindavan Dham. He meets Nanda Maharaj. He asks Nanda Maharaj that, I need to take Krishna to Mathura. And then, Nanda Maharaj sends Krishna and Balaram. And then we also saw how display of the opulence of the Lord was seen by Akrura as he took bath in the Yamuna. Right? As he went into the water to do his Gayatri, he saw that Krishna and Balaram were there under the water. So immediately he came and checked in the chariot, because he was driving the chariot of Krishna and Balaram to Mathura, and they saw that they were also there on the chariot. So in this way, Krishna and Balaram were on the chariot, and then he ran inside the Yamuna river to check out. But the Lord are omniscient, the Lord are omnipresent, right? Sarva Vyapi, right? That's why the Lord has the name Sarva Vyapi. That means he is there everywhere. Right? He is simultaneously present in our heart. At the same time, he is present in Goloka Vrindavan Dham. At the same time, he is present in that Archa Vigraha form in our home. Right? So in this way, the Lord can expand unlimited number of times. The Lord can reciprocate with unlimited number of people. Right? If only we have the heart to receive the Lord's mercy. So in this way, we see here that Akrura brings, after encountering so many wonderful loving reciprocation with Krishna and Balaram, with Nanda Maharaj, and the entire family, Akrura now begins to ride the chariot, bringing Krishna and Balaram, and he comes into Mathura, right? And you also know in Mathura what is going to happen, right? Kamsa had already planned. The Kolyapeda elephant is standing at the entrance of Mathura to kill Krishna, to trample Krishna. But then Kamsa also thinks in case Kolyapeda is unsuccessful, like all of the previous demons that Kamsa had sent, like Putana was not successful, Trinavrata was not successful, so many demons were not successful, right? And last we saw was Arishtasur, right? After which the wonderful appearance of Radhakund and Shamakund happened. Even Arishtasur was not successful, and Kamsa was worried, what is happening to all my demon friends? They're not coming back. So in this way, he had an alternate plan. In case, the Kolyapeda does not be successful in trampling Lord Krishna, then this Chanur and Mushtika, right? The wrestlers will do the job that the elephant is not able to do. So in this way, we see that Akrura is bringing Krishna and Balaram to Mathura Dham, right? And from now onwards, we will see the beautiful pastimes of Krishna and Mathura, and then later on, we will see the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna and Dwarka. So the Vrindavan Leela kind of ends here, and all the gopis and the gopas and all the Vrindavan Vasis, are becoming lifeless as they see Krishna's chariot go away. They are willing to lay down their lives. They actually lie down in front of the chariot. They do not want to spend a moment away from Krishna, but Krishna told them, "I will be coming back." So that was only hope for them, and in this way, Krishna is coming to Mathura. So let's study this. Krishna enters Mathura, chapter number 41. Let me share my screen, and then let's go ahead and start studying. Devotees who would like to read can raise your hands. Oh, okay. Okay, fine. So let me share my screen here. Chapter number 41. Akrura brings Krishna to Mathura. Right. This chapter is entitled Krishna enters Mathura. Okay. Shubhangi Keshi Mataji, go ahead. Well, Akrura was offering his prayers.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danpat Pranam.
Mataji, Danpat Pranam.
Chapter 41, Krishna enters Mathura. While Akrura was offering his prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord disappeared from the water exactly as an expert dramatic actor changes his dress and assumes his original feature. After the Vishnu Murti disappeared, Akrura got out of the water, finishing the rest of his ritualistic performance. He went near the chariot of Balaram and Krishna and was struck with wonder. Krishna asked whatever he had seen something wonderful, whether he had seen something wonderful within the water or in space. Akrura said, "My dear Lord, all wonderful things that are happening within this world, either in the sky or in the water or on the land, are factually appearing in your universal form. So when I have seen you, what wonderful thing have I not seen?" This statement confirms the Vedic version that one who knows Krishna knows everything and that one who has seen Krishna has seen everything, regardless of how wonderful a thing may be. My dear Lord, Akrura continued, there cannot be anything more wonderful than your transcendental form. When I have seen your transcendental form, what is there left to see? After saying this, Akrura immediately started driving the chariot, and by the end of the day, they reached the appreciants of Mathura. As they rode from Vrindavan to Mathura, all the passers by along the way who saw Krishna and Balaram could not help but look at them again and again. In the meantime, the other inhabitants of Vrindavan, headed by Nanda and Upananda, had already reached Mathura by going through the forest, and they were awaiting the arrival of Krishna and Balaram in the garden. Upon reaching the entrance of Mathura, Krishna and Balaram got down from the chariot and shook hands with Akrura. Krishna informed him, "You may go home now because we shall enter Mathura later, along with our associates." Akrura replied, "My dear lord, I cannot go to Mathura alone, leaving you aside. I am your surrendered servant. Please do not try to avoid me. Please come along with me, with your elder brother and cowherd boyfriends, and sanctify my house. My dear lord, if you come, my home will be sanctified by the dust of your lotus feet. The water emanating from the perspiration of your lotus feet, namely the Ganges, purifies everyone, including the forefathers, the fire god, and all other demigods. Bali Maharaj has become famous simply by washing your lotus feet, and all enjoyed all material opulences, and later was elevated to the highest position of liberation. The Ganges water not only sanctified the three worlds, but it carried on the head of Lord Shiva. The ancestors of Bhagirath, sanctified by his water, achieved the heavenly planet. O Supreme Lords of Lord, O Master of the universe, one can achieve pretty simple by hearing about your transcendental pastimes. O Supreme Narayan, who was praised with select verses, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you.
Hare
On
Krishna. Thank you,
hearing this,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you,
Dandavat
Mataji.
Pranam. Yeah. Bhakta Duliyara Bhakta Jala Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha Teen Mahabhala. Right? Bhaktapad Dhuli Yara Bhaktapad Jala. That means that is the dust of the lotus feet of a devotee. Bhaktapad Dhuli Yara Bhaktapad Jala, the water that has washed the lotus feet of a devotee. Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha Teen Mahabhala. The remnants of the food that have been honored by a pure devotee of the Lord. All these things will increase our bhakti. Right? If devotees have so much of potency, that means the water that has washed the lotus feet of a devotee, the dust of the lotus feet of a devotee, and the remnants of the food or the prasadam honored by a devotee, if that can be so powerful, right? How do they become powerful? They become powerful because of their association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because they are devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such prasadam or such water or such dust, they acquire such potency because of their association with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because they are pure devotees of the Lord, it acquires so much of potency. So if the association with the Lord can make even the devotees, the dust or the prasadam honored by them, or the water that has washed their feet, so potent, how much more potent would be the Lord's, the dust of the lotus feet of Vraj. That's what Vraj Raj. That means the dust of Vrindavan Dham. How much more potent it should be? Krishna actually went barefoot, running around the whole of the Vrindavan Dham. Right? How much more potent would be the Mahaprasadam that every day we are consuming. We are consuming what is offered to Krishna. Right? And in this way, we are taking prasadam. And then water that has washed the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. Sudama, in fact, Krishna washed Sudama's feet, and Sudama's lotus feet also has the same potency, right? If someone were to drink that water, will get Krishna Prem, because Krishna personally washed Sudama's feet. And if Sudama's feet could get so much of potency, then if someone were to wash the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna and drink that, right, then what happens? It is ultimately very, very purifying, right? It's most purifying, right? In our given state, we don't know, even if Krishna were to personally come and be amongst us, like just like Duryodhana, he did not have the eyes to see Krishna, right? Although Krishna was there in front of him, Krishna was asking for 5 villages, right? But Duryodhana was not willing to give. And here there is a reference of Vamanadev's pastimes. How Bali Maharaj, when Vamandev came and asked him just 3 steps of land, and Bali Maharaj gave his entire, his life, his head. He asked the Lord, please place your lotus feet on my head. And in this way, he got the perfection of life. But Duryodhana, the same way the Lord asked. In fact, the form of Krishna was direct. In fact, as Vamanadev also, he was not in that beautiful. Sarvam Akarshanam iti Krishna. So the form of Krishna is so beautiful that although Krishna was in the Krishna form and appeared before Duryodhana and asked him for, just 5 villages for the Pandavas, he was not willing to give. Right? So Krishna may personally come in front of us, but we don't have the eyes to see Krishna. Right? So it does not take a material eyes to see Krishna. Right? Who's that? प्रेमांजन चुरित भक्ति विलोचनेन संत सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यम श्याम सुंदरम अचिंत्य गुण स्वरूपम गोविंदम आदिपुरुषम तमहम भजामि. Right? Brahma tells in Brahma Samhita that we don't need material eyes to see Krishna. Right? Those who are completely blind, they're able to see Krishna. Like Surdas, right? He was completely blind, but Krishna was playing with him and he was running away here and there. And then he was telling Krishna, it is not, it's not so great that you're running away from a blind man. Right? It is quite normal that a blind man cannot go and find anybody. Right? But he tells Krishna, you try to run away from my heart, then I will accept. That you can do something powerful. You try to get away from my heart. Because Surdas, he had captured Krishna in his heart, that he is challenging the Lord himself. You try to get away from my heart, then I will accept defeat. Right? Otherwise, I'm a blind man, you are running away from me. So what is the greatness of that? Right? The greatness is when you manage to run away. And while Surdas himself knows that he's able to capture Krishna in his heart only with the mercy of Lord Shri Krishna. Right? So these are the loving reciprocations with the Lord and his devotee. And why am I saying this? This is the potency of associating with anything and everything of the Lord. Right? Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinatva Nama Namino. If such is the potency of the Lord's form, the Lord's lotus feet, the prasadam that has been, or the bhoga that is offered to Krishna when Krishna gives prasadam, or the water that has washed the lotus feet of the Lord, if that all of them have so much of potency to give Krishna prema, why do we not believe that when we are associating with the Lord in the form of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, why do we not believe that we will get the same result, which is Krishna prema, simply by chanting the holy names of the Lord? Right? Because we don't have faith, it is not coming to be true. But the day we get complete faith that when I'm chanting Krishna's names, it is Krishna himself who's sitting in front of me, Krishna is dancing on my tongue, I cannot stop chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So when such is our realization, when we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then we will attain the desired success of Krishna Prema. And then in this pastime, how Vali Maharaj completely surrendered. And then what happens? The first step he kept on the earthly planets. The second step when he placed on the heavenly planets, that time Ganges scraped through the toes. The toes scraped through the sky, and then from the heavenly planets, Ganges came down. Right? There are different pastimes how Ganges came down. Some say Bhagirath brought the Ganges down to deliver his descendants, or to deliver his ancestors, like that. Right? But one important thing is, from the Vaman Dev's lotus feet, Ganges came. Right? And they even in the Gita Mahatmya it is said, somebody who takes bath in the Ganges will get purified. Right? But you have to go and take bath in the Ganges. But simply by having darshan of a devotee, one gets purified. Right? So the Lord and his pure devotees, they deliver simply by their darshan. But we need to have the eyes to recognize who's a Lord, who's a devotee, and take their association. It's not about being close to a devotee, sitting next to a devotee, standing next to a devotee. Right? Of course, if there's an opportunity to do Bapu Seva, we should do it. But then it's not about just being around a pure devotee. Right? That's not how association is taken. Association is taken when one hears from a pure devotee of the Lord and implements the instructions given by the pure devotee of the Lord. That is proper association. Right? Prabhupada tells in one lecture, this fly is most close to me, but this fly is causing so much of discomfort to me. So is the fly the close associate of Prabhupada? No, the fly is causing discomfort to Prabhupada. But rather, everyone who's following the instructions of Prabhupada, even though we've not seen Prabhupada, even though we've not personally, physically met Prabhupada, we all know Prabhupada because of his books. We all know what a person Prabhupada was, what a compassionate person he was, what was his humility, what was his dedication, what was the surrender of Srila Prabhupada to his spiritual master, right? What was the compassion of Srila Prabhupada? All of that we know about Prabhupada because we're studying Srila Prabhupada's books. So this is the way we associate with the pure devotee. By following his instructions, by studying his books, by hearing his classes, In this way, when we associate with the pure devotee, we access the blessings of the pure devotee, we please that devotee, and by pleasing that devotee, we can please Lord Sri Krishna. So these are the powerful things by which we can advance in our devotional service, right? The three things, very, very powerful. Whenever we get an opportunity to get any of this, we should never miss. All right, let's move ahead. Chapter number 41. Let me share my screen and then let's go ahead. Who wants to read now? Okay. I hope devotees are able to see the screen. I'm using a different laptop. Some issues there. I have to go back home and get that sorted. All right, Anusha Mataji, go ahead. On hearing this,
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. On hearing this, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, replied, Akrura, I shall surely come to your home with my elder brother Balram, but only after killing all the demons who are envious of the Yadu dynasty. In this way, I shall please all my relatives. Akrura became a little disappointed by these words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he could not disregard the order. He therefore entered Mathura and informed Kamsa about the arrival of Krishna, and then he returned his own home. After Akrura's departure, Lord Krishna, Balram, and the cowherd boys entered Mathura to see the city. They observed that the gate of Mathura was made of first-class marble, very well constructed, and that the doors were made of pure gold. There were gorgeous orchids and gardens all around, and the whole city was encircled by canals so that no enemy could enter very easily. They saw that all the crossroads were decorated with gold and that there were copper and brass storehouses for stocking grain. And there were many rich men's houses, all appearing symmetrical as if constructed by one engineer. The houses were decorated with costly jewels, and each and every house had nice compounds of trees bearing fruits and flowers. The corridors and verandas of the houses were decorated with silk cloth and embroidery work in jewels and pearls. In front of the balcony windows were pigeons and peacocks walking and cooing. All the grain dealers' shops within the city were decorated with different kinds of flowers and garlands, newly grown grass, and pleasing flowers like narcissus and roses. The entrance doors of the houses were decorated with water pots filled with water. A mixture of water, yogurt, sandalwood pulp, and flowers was sprinkled all around the doors, which were also decorated with burning lamps of different sizes. All over the doors were decorations of fresh mango leaves and silk festoons. When the news spread that Krishna, Balaram, and the cowherd boys were within Madura city, all the inhabitants gathered, and the ladies and girls immediately went up to the roofs of the houses to see them. They had been awaiting the arrival of Krishna and Balarama with great anxiety, and in their extreme eagerness to see Krishna and Balarama, the ladies did not dress themselves very properly. Some of them placed their clothes in the wrong place. Some anointed their eyes on one side only, and some wore ankle belts only on one leg or wore only one earring. Thus, in great haste, not even decorated properly, they went to see Krishna from the roofs. Some of them had been taking their lunch, but as soon as they heard that Krishna and Balrama were in the city, they left their eating and ran to the roofs. Some of them were in the bathroom taking their baths, but without properly finishing their baths, they went to see Krishna and Balram. Some were engaged in feeding their children with breast milk, but they put their babies aside and went to see Krishna and Balrama. Passing by very slowly and smiling, Lord Krishna immediately stole their hearts. He, who is the husband of the goddess of fortune, passed through the street like an elephant. For a very long time, the women of Mathura had heard about Krishna and Balrama and their uncommon characteristics, and they were very much attracted and eager to see them. Now, when they actually saw Krishna and Balrama passing on the street and saw them sweetly smiling, the ladies' joy reached the point of ecstasy. When they actually saw them with their eyes, they took Krishna and Balrama within their hearts and began to embrace them to their fullest desire. Their bodily hair stood up in ecstasy. They had heard of Krishna, but they had never seen him, and now their longing was relieved. After going up on the roofs of the palaces of Mathura, the ladies, their faces joyful, began to shower flowers upon Krishna and Balarama. When the brothers were passing through the streets, all the brahmanas in the neighborhood went out with sandal water and flowers and respectfully welcomed them to the city. All the residents of Mathura began to talk amongst themselves about the elevated and pious activities of the people of Vrindavana. The residents of Mathura were surprised at the pious activities the cowherd men in the Vrindavana must have performed in their previous lives to be able to see Krishna and Balarama daily as cowherd boys. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, I was on mute. So what was I saying? Yeah, I was saying that the Mathura Vasis, right? They all wanted to see the beauty of Lord Shri Krishna, and in those days, the ladies don't go where the men are all engaged in various activities, etc. The ladies gather together at their own, in their own congregation, and used to speak about the various activities of Krishna, right? They went to the rooftop, right? It's not, Prabhupada explains in a lecture how, the ladies don't go and just mingle with the men in a common mass, place where people gather together to do their work, etc. The ladies were so protected that they had a separate place. They would not go and rush and, talk to Krishna or meet Krishna like that. But used to go to the rooftops, and in this way, they used to glorify Krishna. They've already heard about Krishna, the beauty of Krishna. Now, for the first time, they're able to see Krishna. So, in this way, they go to the rooftops and they discuss amongst each other, oh, how attractive Lord Krishna is, like that. Right. So, in this way, the sanctity of the ladies were always maintained. Right. And Prabhupada tells in this lecture how, at that time, Prabhupada used to, 1972, 73, those lectures also, Prabhupada, that time only, I believe, this women's right movement and all started. Prabhupada says nowadays women want to become equal with men, like that. Prabhupada used to speak very strongly because they feel, that they are being compressed, they're not able to voice out their thoughts, etc. But Prabhupada also tells in several lectures, even Dhritarashtra used to consult with Gandhari. Any important decisions to be taken, they always consulted, they consulted the wife, and only then took decisions. So like that. So women were never oppressed, and women were never forced to do things as it is the situation today, right? And I don't know what it would have been in 1970s, etc. But Prabhupada says that there is no need for an artificial competition between men and women, who is stronger, who is who's more powerful, etc. Right? Prabhupada says men and women have their respective duties, and they have to execute their duties simply for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? And Prabhupada also gave Brahminical initiation to ladies. Right? So Prabhupada did not distinguish between man and woman in the platform of the in the platform of the soul, right? And in the soul platform, Jivera Swarupe Krishna and Nitya Das. That is our only identity. We are not neither men nor women, right? Of course, those material considerations have to be maintained. Prabhupada also gives example. In the night at 12 o'clock, a man can go, without being fearful, but a lady cannot go at that time, right? So we need to respect what body we have got, and we have to work according to our interests, what can best serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We don't artificially try, right? Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha Paradharma Chunusthitat Paradharmo Nidan Swadharmo Nidanam Shreya Paradharmo Bhayavaha, right? In Krishna also tells in Bhagavad Gita, it is better to perform one's own dharma even imperfectly rather than perform somebody else's dharma, right? So we don't want to imitate men and do what they are doing. Rather, we do what is our dharma in a way that's pleasing to Krishna, right? Swadharmo Nidanam Shreya. Even if one dies performing one's dharma, right? One will get a better destination rather than Paradharmo Bhayavaha. Bhayavaha means very dangerous, very scary. Right? If you perform somebody else's duty, even if you perform that perfectly, it is very, very scary. Right? That's why Krishna also tells Arjuna, you fight this battle, even if you die, you will go to the heavenly planets. Why? Because you're dying performing your duty as a Kshatriya. Right? So here we see how the ladies go to the rooftops. They also look at the beautiful form of Krishna. They also discuss amongst each other. Madchitta madgata pranabodhayanta parasparam katayantasya mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. And Krishna also reciprocates with his devotees. Right? When the ladies are on the rooftops, Krishna also looks up. Right? And in this way, when their eyes meet, the ladies also become very, very ecstatic. It's not that they were kept in one corner, nobody looked after them. No. Right? Every Krishna knew, how to reciprocate with the love of every person, right? Be it men, be it women, be it animals, be it prostitutes, right? We'll be seeing, right, how Krishna used to satisfy each and every person, whether it is a fruit seller, whether it is an old lady who's just come to sell fruits, or whether it is a lady who's filled with lust, wants to enjoy with Krishna, the kubja, right? She was not even looking very good. She was a hunchback lady, right? Everybody, Krishna fulfilled everybody's desires, right? Krishna is not going to look at anybody's beauty, intelligence, wealth, strength, knowledge. It does not appeal to Krishna, because he is the source of beauty, wealth, strength, knowledge, fame, and renunciation. What pleases Krishna is only the devotion and the heart. Everything else Krishna will provide, right? This body itself is provided by Krishna. So only thing that we can call our own is our desire to serve Krishna, to satisfy Krishna, and to please Krishna, right? Nothing else satisfies Krishna, right? We should not think that I know 2-3 verses of Bhagavad Gita and with that I can please Krishna, right? Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita in 14 minutes straight, and we need 40 years of life to even memorize few slokas of Bhagavad Gita, right? We cannot please Krishna by our memorization. We cannot please Krishna by our beauty. We cannot please Krishna by our renunciation, right? Most of us are following Kartik Vrata. So our motive of following this Kartik Vrata is to please Krishna, not by the Vrata, but by the devotion, with the surrender, with the humility with which we are doing the Vrata, right? That's why somebody was saying, Ekadashi Vrata, if there's one devotee, it's a hypothetical case. I was just hearing in somebody else's class. They were mentioning that, a person may follow Nirjal Ekadashi Vrata every Ekadashi. And that person becomes so puffed up that he's looking at his own temple president, who is his spiritual authority. Oh, temple president is having Ekadashi Prasadam, but I am fasting Nirjala. That means what? I am feasting my false ego. It is better I go and at least have Ekadashi Prasadam and develop a little bit of humility, rather than do Nirjala and fast the stomach but feast the false ego, right? It's better to feed the stomach with Krishna Prasadam even on Ekadashi day and be humble, rather than fill our head. No, the heart is never, the heart also, it covers the soul. The ahankara actually covers the soul. Ahankara vimudatma kartahamiti manite. I think that, I am fasting. I am not even drinking water. What happens? Then that false ego actually is a progresses. It prohibits or it curtails our development of devotional service. And if we are looking at somebody and comparing and we think we ourselves are better, that will also be Vaishnava aparad. Very nice. It will cut the root of our devotional service. That's why we should be humble. The more we get transcendental knowledge in the right way, the more it should increase the humility of our heart. Right? It should not increase the false ego of our head. If it does, then we need to contemplate, we need to introspect what is going wrong. Where am I going wrong? Why am I not experiencing humility? Why am I not feeling that bhava of humility, although I'm studying so much, hearing so much, reading so much, chanting so much, yet something is going wrong? Then we need to go and ask our counselor or our Siksha Guru or our Diksha Guru. It's an opportunity. Why am I not developing taste in chanting? Why am I not developing humility? In this way, we need to introspect. And His Grace Radhesham Prabhu, I believe, was saying, every Ekadashi to Ekadashi, we need to do this introspection. Am I getting more taste in chanting? Am I getting more taste in hearing? Right? So that is a test. That is the yardstick to measure our growth in devotional service. So why did we reach here? So in this way, those who have developed that lowlium to see the Lord, to have this loving reciprocation with the Lord, they all were satisfied by the Lord's glance, by the Lord's smile, and they were not envious. Oh, this person is getting personal association. I am not getting to talk to Krishna. I am seeing from the rooftop, this person is going and embracing Krishna. No, there is no envy. Right? Envy. Amarendra Prabhu was saying, envy means, if you have envy, means there is no vacancy for us in the spiritual world. There is envy for us in the spiritual world. If we have envy, then there is envy for us. There is no vacancy for us in the spiritual world. The moment we give up our kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, this enviousness, the jealousy, to get to buying our others' property, right? All of these things, then we cannot progress in devotional service, even though we might chant Hare Krishna, because we are committing Vaishnava aparad, we are committing aparad, isn't it? So in this way, we see that the pure devotees of the Lord, whatever is a kind of reciprocation the Lord gave, they were satisfied, they were happy, they were reciprocating with the Lord by the Lord's smiles, etc. Right? So this is the mode of a devotee. A devotee never finds himself qualified. Oh, I am such a great devotee. Why am I not getting all these benefits? Then we should understand, very, very neophyte devotee. Abhi, there is a long path ahead for purification. Right? Sometimes we also realize, how fallen I am, right? I want this, I want this. We read so many times. It is like going and asking a king for some pieces of ash. The king can give us anything and everything. So sometimes we also pray to the Lord, I want this, I want that, and then we realize how foolish we are. The Lord can give us Krishna Prema, but we want to satisfy ourselves with small, small things, right? Small, small material things, which will not even last forever. That is our plight. Slowly we should try to come over all these, all these desire for sense gratification and simply serve the Lord for the Lord's pleasure. And reading these pastimes of of Mathura, my Krishna's pastimes in Mathura Dham, Vrindavan Dham, Dwaraka Dham, makes our heart get purified, because the Lord, his glories, his pastimes, his Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila, they're all purifying. So we keep on hearing Krishna's pastimes so much, we fill our heart, we fill our ears, we fill our brain, we fill our head, we fill our heart with Krishna. That there is no, then Krishna will, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does the Gundicha Marjan, cleaning, secondary cleaning, third cleaning, washing, mopping, right? That's what we also need. Our heart needs all of that. Sweeping, mopping, cleaning, throwing one entire bucket of water. That what is that water? That water is chanting Hare Krishna, hearing Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Karaya Udaya. So the chanting and the hearing and the reading Srila Prabhupada's books, those are the buckets of water that we need to continuously overflow in our heart, so that all the unnecessary things get displaced. And in this place, pure devotion to the Lord will spring in our hearts. All right, let's move ahead. Sindhu Mataji is waiting. Oh, when will she stop talking? And when will I start reading? Okay, yes, Mataji, please go ahead. Well, Krishna and Balaram were passing in this way.
Sure, Mataji, Hare Krishna, pranams.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad.
Hare Bhakshila Prabhupada ki jai. Which paragraph?
While Krishna and Balaram were passing in this way, they saw a washerman and dyer of clothing.
Yes, Mataji, got it. While Krishna and Balaram were passing in this way, they saw a washerman and dyer of clothing. Krishna was pleased to ask him for some nice clothing. He also promised that if the washerman would deliver the nicest dyed cloth to him, the washerman would become very happy and all good fortune would be his. Krishna was not a beggar, nor was he in need of clothing, but by this request, he indicated that everyone should be ready to offer Krishna whatever he wants. That is the meaning of Krishna consciousness. Unfortunately, this washerman was a servant of Kamsa and therefore could not appreciate the demand of Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the effect of bad association. He could have immediately delivered the clothing to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who promised him all good fortune. But being a servant of Kamsa, the sinful demon could not accept the offer. Instead of being pleased, he was very angry and refused the Lord's request, saying, "How is it that you are asking for clothing which is meant for the king?" The washerman then began to instruct Krishna and Balarama, "My dear boys, in the future, don't be so impudent as to ask for things which belong to the king. Otherwise, you will be punished by the garment men. They will arrest you and punish you, and you will be in difficulty." I have practical experience of this fact. Anyone who unlawfully wants to use the king's property is very severely punished. On hearing this, Lord Krishna, the son of Devaki, became very angry at the washerman, and striking him with the upper portion of his hand, he separated the man's head from his body. The washerman fell down dead on the ground. In this way, Lord Krishna confirmed the statement of Brahma Shamhita that every limb of his body is capable of doing everything he likes. Without a sword, but simply with his hand, he cut off the head of the washerman. This is a proof that the Supreme Lord is omnipotent. If he wants to do something, he can do it without extraneous help.
Thank you, Mataji. Anganiyasya sakalendriya vrittimanti pashyanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti ananda chinmaya sadujvala vigrahasya govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Anganiyasya sakalendriya vrittimanti. That means the Lord can perform with one of his senses, he can perform the activities of any of the other senses. So here Prabhupada is quoting that Brahma Samhita verse and also saying that just by doing like this, touching the neck of the washerman, he could actually chop the head of the washerman, right? And also we see here that washerman is so unfortunate, right? Even though Krishna is asking for the clothes of that washing clothes, he could have given the best of the clothes to Lord Krishna, and he could have reaped the best of the benefits. But unfortunate for him, he could not. Why he could not? Sarvasya chaham mriti sannivishto matas smritir jnanam apohanam cha. Krishna gives us forgetfulness. Krishna gives us remembrance. Krishna gives us knowledge according to what is our desire in our heart. Krishna knows what is there in our heart, right? If we want to remember Krishna, Krishna will enable us to remember him. If we want to forget Krishna and remember all the illusions of this material world, what time the cricket match is coming, what time the football match is coming, who is the president of India, we want to watch entire elections. I mean, who's the president of United States, what is his criminal record, all that we want to read and waste our time. Then Krishna will give us, apohanam, that is the forgetfulness of Krishna. Then we will feel that, oh, I don't have time to chant Hare Krishna. I don't have time to study Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and we are busy wasting our time and reading about, that Donald or Trump or whatever his name is, right? If we waste our time, then we will not find time for important things in our life, right? So whatever we do, if it is helping us in our Krishna consciousness, sometimes we also go through such news, for the purpose of preaching, then it is okay. If you are dovetailing all of these knowledge also for our preaching purposes, because we also need to know what is going on in the world, so we can tell a person to whom we are preaching how Bhagavad Gita gives the answers to all the solutions, right? We need to know about a flood that's happening, about an earthquake that's happening, because this Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik and Adi Adhyatmik kleshas, we cannot find solutions, we cannot find material solutions, but it is only a spiritual solution that can put an end to all of these miseries, right? Adhyatmik, caused by the trouble caused by the mind, the body, the other living entities, as well as the by superior forces. So in this way, everything and anything has to be utilized in the service of the Lord. Otherwise, Krishna is not at a loss. Krishna is not in need of some clothes. Krishna is not in need of food. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Doesn't mean Krishna does not have Phala Pushpa. That Krishna is asking us to give him Phalam and Pushpam. Right? Lakshmi Sahasrachata Sambramasevyamānam Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. Krishna is the source of everything. Ishwaraha Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. Anadir Adir Govindaha Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. If there are fruits and flowers in this world, leaf fruits and what not, right? Krishna is the source of everything. If you're able to enjoy the juices of the various fruits, the apple, the pomegranate, or the mango, or whatever, right? Krishna says, I am the juice. I provide the juice to all the vegetables and fruits, right? So in this way, whatever we eat, whatever we do, right? If we remember Krishna is the source of everything. Like the other day, we were asked to meditate that Krishna is the light of the sun, right? Krishna has Surya Sama Maya hai Andakar, Jahan Krishna Taha nahi Maya Adhikar, right? Or Krishna is a taste of water, right? One day we were just meditating. Whenever we drink water, we have to say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. In this way, we remember Krishna when we are drinking water, right? As many times as we gulp down a little bit of water, we think of Krishna. Krishna, you are the source of water. Thank you for giving us this water, right? Air and water, we cannot live without it. That even with and sleep, right? Everything without the air, we cannot even breathe. We cannot live for a second, right? So in this way, when we remember that Krishna is the source of everything that is required for us to sustain us in this world, then our gratitude for Krishna will only increase. If you are ungrateful, then we don't understand, that what all Lord Krishna has given us. And that is our misfortune. And if we don't understand, then Krishna will also not give us remembrance, because we will not study the scriptures. We don't have the discrimination power. We make all the wrong choices. And then we blame Krishna. Krishna didn't give me intelligence. Krishna gives us intelligence according to what we desire. If you want to remember Krishna, Krishna will give us intelligence how to remember him. If you want to remember when is a cricket match coming, Krishna may or may not give us remembrance of when the cricket match is coming. That is according to our past karma, whether we even have the sukriti to watch a cricket match. But even if we get that sukriti, what use is it? Tadakim, tadakim, tadakim. What is the use of all these things of this material world, which are going to get gone by time? And even if we get it, we will not be satisfied. Even if we get it and we are satisfied, we want more of it. So all these material things cannot give us satisfaction. Only Krishna Prema, loving devotional service unto Lord Sri Krishna, can give us this satisfaction. All right, let's move ahead. After this ghastly incident, Rajneesh Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Yes, Prabhu.
After this ghastly incident, the employees of the washerman immediately dispersed, leaving the clothing. Krishna and Balaram took possession of it and dressed according to their choice. The rest of the clothes were offered to the cowherd boys who also used them as they desired. What they did not use remained there. Krishna, Balaram, and boys then proceeded along the main road. In the meantime, a devotee tailor took the opportunity to serve and prepared some nice clothes from the cloth for Krishna and Balarama. Thus, being very nicely attired, Krishna and Balarama looked like elephants dressed with colored clothing on the full moon day or the dark moon day. Krishna was very much pleased with the tailor and gave him the benediction of Sarup Mukti, which means that after leaving his body, he would be liberated and would attain a four-handed body exactly like that of Narayana in the Vaikuntha planet. Krishna also granted him that as long as he would live, he would earn sufficient opulence to be able to enjoy sense gratification. By this incident, Krishna proved that those who are Krishna conscious devotees will not be lacking material enjoyment of sense gratification. They will have sufficient opportunity for such things, but after leaving this body, they will be allowed to enter the spiritual planet of Vaikuntha Lok or Krishna Lok, Golok Vrindavan. After dressing nicely, Krishna and Balama went to a florist of the name Sudama. As soon as they reached the precinct of his house, the florist immediately came out and with great devotion fell down on his face to offer his respectful obeisances. He offered a nice seed to Krishna and Balama and asked his assistant to bring the out flowers, betel nuts, and pulp of kandama. The florist welcomed greatly satisfied the Lord.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Matai.
Hare Krishna. So we see here that Krishna and Balaram got the clothes, right? It's not about we giving the clothes to Krishna, right? Whenever Krishna is asking something, we simply become instruments to satisfy Krishna. If we don't satisfy, somebody else will satisfy and take that opportunity, right? So together, whenever it's possible, we should come together to serve the Lord and please the Lord, right? In this way, we are only helping ourselves. Krishna is not in need of clothes. Yet, that particular florist, right, who made that beautiful garland for Krishna, welcomed the Lord, right? He actually pleased the Lord by his welcome. He greatly satisfied the Lord. But the washerman lost the opportunity, right? So we will get opportunities to serve the Lord, but it is up to our desire whether we want to serve the Lord or whether we want to let that opportunity pass. We all get opportunities to serve the Lord and his devotees, and every opportunity utilized properly will give us more chances to serve the Lord and his devotees. If we serve more, there are more opportunities to serve. We can also see in our own lives, right? Whenever we are eager to perform a particular service, right, then when we perform that seva nicely, then there are more and more chances of that seva coming back to us. That means we are doing it in the proper consciousness. We are pleasing our serving our authorities, our temple authorities who have given us that service. If you've done a shoddy job, do you think next time they will give you that seva? No. So it will go to someone else, right? So whatever service we are getting, we should do it in a way which is to the best of our ability. We don't want to be the best, right? We know that nobody can be the best except Krishna. Krishna is the best in everything. But what can we do? We can do our best in every situation. In every situation, what is the best that I can do in this situation? Not that I want to be the best. I want to make the best garland. No, I want to make the best garland according to my capacity. Whatever is my best capacity, I want to do it for the pleasure of the Lord. That should be the mode of a devotee. That's why Prabhupada instituted this transcendental competition of book distribution. But I heard His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj was saying, we should cross our previous year's course, right? And but we should become better than what we did last year. but we should come last. That's what Radhanath Maharaj said. In that competition, we should do better than what we did last time, but we should become, we should come last in the competition. That means what? Everybody doubles and triples whatever they have done. And when that happens, we are still the last, but yet we have also done better than last time. Right? So in this way, there's transcendental competition with ourselves to do our best. Have I bettered my position? Am I in a better position than yesterday to serve Krishna? Do I have a better taste for chanting Hare Krishna? Do I have a better taste for reading Srila Prabhupada's books? Do I have a better taste in performing devotional service than what it was last time? Right? If that be the case, then we are happy. We don't want to become the best, because if we endeavor to become the best, we'll only become frustrated. We can never become the best of anything. Right? But we can do our best in every situation, and thus Krishna will be pleased by our best endeavor to serve the Lord. Okay, last paragraph. Sarvagopi Shri Mataji, please complete this chapter for us. We'll complete with this and we'll do Harinam Sunday.
The florist very humbly and submissively offered his prayers to the Lord, saying, "My dear Lord, because you have come to my place, I think all my forefathers and all my worshipable superiors are pleased and delivered. My dear Lord, you are the supreme cause of all causes of this cosmic manifestation. But for the benefit of the residents of this earthly planet, you have appeared with your plenary portion to give protection to your devotees and annihilate the demons. You are equally disposed as a friend of all living entities. You are the super soul, and you do not discriminate between friend and enemy. Yet, you are pleased to give your devotees the special result of their devotional activities. My Lord, I am praying that you please tell me whatever you wish me to do, because I am your eternal servant. If you would order me to do something, it would be great favor for me to me." The florist Sudama was greatly pleased within his heart by seeing Krishna and Balarama in his place, and thus, as his choicest desire, he made two exquisite garlands of various flowers and presented them to the Lord. Krishna and Balarama were very much pleased with his sincere service, and Krishna offered the florist salutation and benediction, which he is always prepared to bestow upon your surrendered soul. When the florist was offered benediction, he begged from the Lord that he might remain his eternal servant in devotional service, and by such service do good to all living creatures. By this, it is clear that a devotee of the Lord in Krishna consciousness should not be satisfied simply by his own advancement in devotional service. He must be willing to work for the welfare of all others. This example was followed by the 6 Goswamis in Vrindavana. It is therefore stated that the prayer about them, Lokanam Hita Karinav, Vaishnavas are devotees of the Lord, are not selfish. But whatever benefit they derive from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as benediction, they want to distribute to all other persons. That is the greatest of all humanitarian activities. Being satisfied with the glories, Lord Krishna not only gave him whatever benediction he wanted, but over and above that, he offered him all material opulences, family, prosperity, a long duration of life, and whatever else his heart desired within his material world. Hare Krishna. Thus, the end of the Bhakti Vedanta purport of the 41st chapter of Krishna, the Krishna enters Mathura. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So, this is the glory of the Lord, right? A devotee becomes glorious when he serves the Lord in a way that pleases the Lord, and the Lord becomes more satisfied with such a devotee, and the Lord wants to benedict the devotee with so many blessings and prosperity and wealth. But a devotee does not desire anything. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti rahituki tvaya. I don't desire any wealth, name, fame, glory. I don't desire anything. Mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti rahituki tvaya. I simply want to serve you, O Lord, eternally in a way that pleases you. So this is the desire of the devotee, and this is the desire of the Lord. The Lord also wants to profusely give everything to his devotees, and that is the attitude that a devotee also has. The devotee does not want to accumulate everything. Oh, this is for me, this is also for me, this is also for me. What am I going to get in return for devotional service? No, that's not the mode of a devotee. What does a devotee do? A devotee, of course, a devotee renders service for the pleasure of the Lord, and whatever benedictions he gets, he wants to distribute. That's why, what is the best benediction that we have? We have the holy name of the Lord, and that's what we want to distribute to others, because that is the only gift that is going to yield unlimited benefits. Everything else has its utility, for the time being, but it is not sustainable in the long run. Right? So what is sustainable, eternal benefit can be acquired only by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Some or the other, by the mercy of some person. We all have our Vartma Pradarshika Guru in our life. Somebody who's told us about Krishna, somebody who's given us the first book of Krishna consciousness, somebody who's given us Prabhupada's book, somebody who's taken us to an ISKCON temple, somebody who's engaged us in some kind of seva. Right? So in this way, we need to be indebted to all these people who some or the other brought us into Krishna consciousness, who made us experience this transcendental pleasure. And the gratitude means to give to others what we have received from Krishna and his representatives. That is the glory of human form of life. That we are grateful for what we have received, and we want to reciprocate it. How do we reciprocate to our gurus? They have already given us everything. We reciprocate to our gurus by passing on the message of Krishna that we've received through the bona fide Guru Parampara in the same way to others, according to our limited realizations. Right? What we just simply tell them, this works for me. This is, this makes, this enable. If somebody is saying, I don't have time, you can tell how the study of Bhagavad Gita has helped you manage your own time. You all have some realizations. How, at least for myself, I can say, although I'm not completely become a transformed person, but I'm able to better manage my time now. I have a fixed plan because I have to do certain things, and I do important things first. There was a time when I was struggling with my 16 rounds till 10 o'clock in the night after coming back from office, struggling. And then what I used to do was counting. No, that's only the mercy of all of you devotees for joining us for the Brahma Muhurta chanting session, that we are able to inspire each other to complete our rounds in the morning. Brahma Muhurta, 7:15, 7:30, our rounds are over. And the rest of the day, we are able to chant more. If we get more time, we are going to please Krishna more. Right? We all have the experience how we are able to better manage time. We are able to better manage stress. Right? Sometimes I also wonder, maybe if I've not in Krishna consciousness, I wouldn't have been able to handle the situation. Now I take everything as Krishna. At least I try. Although it does not come naturally to me, I try to see that Krishna must have a better plan. Right? Krishna's plan is much more, Krishna is more, Krishna has a, what do you call, the big plan. They say the big picture, see the bigger picture, like that they say. Right? What we are able to see is a very, very myopic view of the entire plan. Right? Krishna knows our past, present, and future. So whatever Krishna has planned for us is the best. Right? So what we have to do, we have to simply give our best to do what best we can to align ourselves with the plan of the Lord. Whatever is happening is by the plan of the Lord. And we try to align ourselves and situate ourselves in a way that we can perform best devotional service in whatever situation we are placed in by the Lord. And that is all the Lord expects of us. The Lord is not expecting us to carry mountains. Right? The Lord is expecting us to simply do our best in every situation. To do our best to simply remember Krishna, never forget Krishna in any situation we are placed in. And that is the success of human form of life. Very simple. Very simple. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna in all situations. Matra sparsha sukaunteya sitoshna sukadukada agama paina nityastham sitikshashva bharata. A devotee sees every situation as happening because of the hand of the Lord and aligns every situation in a way that I can perform my seva, whether it is Swadharma or Sanatana Dharma, in a way that's pleasing to Krishna. If that is our attitude, we remember Krishna and we do our best, then Krishna will give us intelligence how to tackle the situation, how to transcend the situation and go back home, back to Godhead. Grantaraj Sri Krishna Book ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. We'll quickly do Harinam Sankirtan. Devotees can switch on your cameras. I can already see Ramya Mataji joining us probably after a year or so. We thank Mataji for joining us after 1 year hiatus. So let's quickly do Harinam Sankirtan, and we want Ramya Mataji to join us every day from now. Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatyarishatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nitya Nanda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jai Jagannath Jaya Jai Baladev Jaya Jai Subhadra Jaya Jaya Sudarshan Jaya Bala Gopal Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Sham Sundar Jaya Radha Rasa Bihari Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Kunja Bihari Radhe Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radha Govinda Jaya Radha Gopina Jaya Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe 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 Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Shad Goswami Jaya Guru Parampara Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Guru Deva Nittai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki Jai. We'll meet you all at 5 a.m. Indian Standard Time tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Ramya Mataji, we missed you. I am sure you did not miss 1 year, but we missed you. Yuga itam nimeshena chachushur pravarshaitam shunya idam jagat sarvam govind virahename. So we missed you. Ramya Mataji, join us. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Oh, Shobha Mataji, Sindhu Mataji, Shubhangi Keshi Mataji, Harjit Mataji, Sarva Gopeshri Mataji, Rajneesh Prabhu, Anusha Mataji, Nagaveni Mataji, Nisha Mataji, Moshmi Mataji, they're all our everyday participants. So please don't think that I'm only glorifying Ramya Mataji. You know, each one of your association is so very important. Because of all of you, we are studying Krishna book. Because of all of you, we completed 16 books of Prabhupada. We completed Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita. So I'm so very grateful to all of you. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Padidhanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Hitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.